Hey guys, today is, I think it's the 7th, April 7th, 2022, and we are going into day 3 of isolation from my husband. We have been fighting since Monday, but I moved out on Tuesday, so I would say that would be 3 days, right? What is today, Thursday? Yeah, day 3. Anyways, these past couple days have been kind of like a whirlwind of like emotions. There are days where I feel like, okay, I got this, I'm good, I should be okay, I'm a strong, independent woman, I've always been, and I should be okay. And then there are days where I just kind of break down and I just bawl and cry all night, like in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, dude, I just gave myself a pep talk that I'm okay. And then all of a sudden I just have this ocean of emotions coming out, and it just like drives me nuts. And so anyways, see, it just comes out, and it's just so, anyway, just to fill you guys in about what has been going on. Give me a moment. Anyways, Monday I asked my husband, I said, he went on a sidewalk, and I said, who are you going with? And he said he's gonna go with his brother. And I said, are you going to carpool, or are you going to meet him there? Because, you know, he's gonna stink up my car. And I say that because his brother's full of shit, so it's a way of, you know, being a little bit snarky at the situation. And then he said, I'll meet him there. Jeez, you know. And so I figured if he's gonna meet him there, okay, I just want to clear the air, like what's going on. It's just something that I wanted to ask. And then sure enough, they carpooled. And to me, it's, I get it, my husband's always like trying to be nice, and he wants to, like, you know, help out his brother or whatnot. And I'm frustrated because, you know I don't like this person. You know that I don't want this person anywhere near me. So why would you have him in my car, the car that you say that you bought me? And that's my personal zone, my area, our thing. And you already bought him a car. So why can't he just drive himself to work? And I get that gas prices are like up the hill right now, and he wants to help him, but it's like, you've already helped him with everything in life. You helped him with his career and his transportation, his foods, I mean, computers, laptops, iPads, iPhones, everything, camera, whatever you need, he's helped him with. And his wife. And even vacations, we paid for all of their vacations, giving them the best life they could ever have. And yes, there are times when the economy goes up, down, and you have to pay the price, but that's life. You're supposed to experience life, and you're supposed to learn it heads on, and, you know, understand the pain of, yes, it's gonna hurt your pocket a little bit, but that's life. Grow up, deal with it as a man, as a 36-year-old man. His brother is that old. And so actually he's like 35, he's turning 36. And then so that's my frustration, you know. And at that point I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, one thing you can let go. And then he comes home with some food from the grocery store, and I was like, what the heck? And so, if you guys, I've been with Brian for a very long time, a very, very long time. And so I know that he doesn't celebrate anniversaries, birthdays. He doesn't go out to buy me anything. He just feels like if I want it, I'll go buy it myself. Like, you can't buy anything for someone who is hard to please and will, you know, has everything, he calls it. And so he went to go buy me some sashimi at the grocery store, and then I look at the receipt and I see that there's extra portions, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, why are you buying him food at the grocery store? And then he comes home, and he always does this to me, that would it just ticks me off, is because he says it's for me, and we all know he doesn't do that. He doesn't buy me gifts. He doesn't ever you know? Anyways, especially food. I mean, there's some days where he kind of like buys me makeup or he buys me camera equipment, but that's all to invest in my YouTube, my makeup tutorials, whatever, to get me to do something for business or whatever. But it's never just genuinely, here, I bought this for you because I thought of you, you know? It's always, there's always an ulterior motive where he buys me things. I know you guys watched me for a long time where he buys me, you know, some makeup here and there, it was on sale, blah blah blah, you know. But like generally, if I can recall, he doesn't buy me anything, so I know for sure it's not for me. And he comes home, he says it for me, and it's an excuse because he piggybacks, you know, the reason why he buys it for his brother is for me. And this is not the first time he's done that, and so this is like the third or fourth time, so he should know by now I'm upset by that. And he's like, what is the big deal? I always go out to lunch with my coworkers. And I was like, yes, you go out to lunch with your coworkers and you network. You never go out to lunch for leisure. And when was the last time you took your coworkers to a grocery store? You guys go out to eat, you sit down, you order food, and you leave. You don't go out of your way and buy groceries for a grown-ass man for lunch. And I understand Brian's always like, okay, you know, you want some of that? Okay, I'll take care of it. And his brother's like, okay, keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'll take as much as I can, as long as you're willing to give. And it bothers me so much because this person, time and time again, always boasts that we take care of everything for them. It's so insulting to me, and it drives me nuts. He will always say, why do you hate them so much? And there's no reason to hate them. They've been so helpful to me. And I was like, okay, this whole time that they've been living here, actually not living here, before, many years ago, for 20 years we've been taking care of them. Why haven't they been on their feet? The fact that he lies about his financial situation to get more out of us and other people is one reason I hate him, okay? And number two, I hate the fact that he tries to put me on the spot sometimes in front of people in my own house when we play games or whatever. He tries to like, oh, let Min deal with it. Let Min, let's put the spot on Min because it's so funny because she's not as smart, or she's like a little bit airhead. So he makes fun of my intelligence, or he belittles me. And number three, he claims, he comes in here and then he goes into my studio. He's like, oh, this is our room. Okay, one time joke, haha, funny. Second time, okay, whatever. And third time, he continues to poke me about claiming property in this house, and he thinks it's funny. I don't like being poked at, especially during my pregnancy, you know? And every single time, it's always like he tries to get Brian to do things for him. Like, oh, I can't do this, or he'll be like, my girlfriend's gonna go fly out to the airport, and then Brian's like, okay, I'll drive you and her. And I'm like, he doesn't really ask, but he works his way in trying to get Brian to do things for him. Or like he'll say, oh, my earphones we accidentally put it in the dishwasher or the dish dryer, and then, not the dish dryer, the wash. And at that point, Brian would be like, oh, let me go buy you another one. You know, like stuff like that. He has hidden agendas, and he continually like sneaky about it to get what he wants. And Brian always buys him shit. And there's so many reasons to not like him. Like, he's just doesn't have any common courtesy or human decency. It's always asking, always taking as much as he can. It's like, when is it enough? When my husband's dead and down in the ground where you can't use him anymore, and then that's when you'll stop? Like, and then I was really upset, and I had told him all these things why I'm bothered by him, and it adds up. Little things, like little nuggets, just adds up, and then it goes to a certain point where I could completely blow and I can't take it anymore. Like, he didn't even address the issue to his brother, even though he said he would. He's like, hey, you know, my wife doesn't appreciate that you have been, you know, throwing small jabs at her, or you're being like inconsiderate. Like, one time, like, we were out to buy some stuff, and I was like, oh, don't worry, let me pay for it. And then I pull out my credit card, and he pulls out his phone to pay for it. Except my credit card is on his phone. It's on his Apple Pay. And he thought that was funny to like pay for it using my credit card, offering my credit card at the same time I'm using my credit card. I just don't find the humor in that at all. I think it's just so, like, he's not humble at all for the things that we do. And just the other day, or a month ago, not a month ago, my mind's everywhere, but anyways, the beginning of the year, his wife and him moved out, and I think she was probably upset about something, and then she unfollowed me, and then she posted on the internet, on her stories on Instagram, that a meme that said, unfollowing someone doesn't mean it's a sign of weakness. It's because you want to get away, as far away from the bullshit as much as possible. And I don't follow her, so I didn't know that. And so my friend sent it to me, and I was like taken back, because I was like, dude, like, you say you want to get away from all my bullshit, except every single day you're living on the dime of my bullshit. Like, you basically, your husband has a job that was completely handed to you, and the clothes on your back I gave to you, the purse, the makeup, the bed, the couch, the trash can you took from me. You took a goddamn trash can. That's my bullshit that you want to get away from me. And I said, I text them all this. I text them like, you know, you guys call this bullshit, but you're living on our dime. And then, you know, even after moving out, you still have a way of trying to ask us to pay for everything. And like, you're so ungrateful, so selfish, and so entitled. And that if you really want to get away from my bullshit, then go back to Indonesia. But even at that, the property in Indonesia and the housing and the food is still what we provide. We pay for that shit for years. And it's like, how can you like say that to somebody who has been helping you this whole time, just because, you know, you were upset? And then I text that all to them, and then the first thing his brother did was text Brian my text. He copied and pasted my text and sent it to Brian. And then Brian was really upset, because he's like, that's a really mean thing to say. I was like, it's true. He's like, but you don't have to be mean. And then he's like, they've been really helpful. I was like, what do you think I've been doing to you this whole time? Like, I gave 20 years of my life to you. I literally, first of all, I married you, okay? That's a huge thing. A lot of you guys don't know this, but I married him because he was getting deported to Indonesia. He and his family overstayed here, and so I was really in love with him, and I really didn't want him to, you know, I didn't want to break up. I wanted to be with him. He was someone that I really wanted in my life, and so I married him, and then I supported him through college, and then he got a job. After he got a job, he was able to make his own money, and then after that he was able to leave his job because he used me as a cushion to be able to take the risk of leaving his job, because if my income wasn't there, he wasn't able to support his business. And now he has his business, he brings all these people in, and he drags us down. And I understand that they're here to work, but for him to say that, you know, they've been so helpful. Of course they're helpful. You're paying them to be helpful. What do you think? And then I was like, I even bore your kids for you. I didn't want kids, and I gave you kids. And then you just disregard me. Like, it's like I feel used. You used me, and then you just threw me away like I was nothing. This is what I'm talking about. You go up and down and up and down. And like, now if I cry, it doesn't even matter. It's like he's completely got all his ambition done. And anyways, I told his girlfriend, or his wife, his brother's wife, said, I don't know, I posted this a long time ago, but I don't know where you got the idea that it was meant towards you guys. And I said, are you fucking kidding me? Like, if you unfollow someone and you post something like that, and you don't think it's how you don't know how I got the idea that you said that about me. If you unfollow someone, it applies to everyone that you unfollow. So that means you knew exactly what you were doing. You were upset. You said those things, and I told Brian this a long time ago, and he didn't defend me. And I was like, what the heck, Brian? He never said. So I took it upon myself to tell them, hey, cut that shit out. Stop asking for shit. Grow up and do your own shit. And then Enrique is just like, you're just a mean person. And so I moved out here. I moved into this room, and then I said, I'm done. Like, seriously, you never have my back. You never have my back, and I just don't get it, because I'm the only one that supports you from the get-go. And everything you do, like, what do you think I do all day? I don't even sing anymore. I freaking, like, take care of your kids all fucking day long. It's tiring. And I love them, but because I love him, I did that. I barely go sing anymore. And it's like, he came in on Tuesday and he said, you're wrong. And I was like, how the fuck do you come to me and say you're wrong? He says I'm wrong and that I'm a really, really mean person to text him that. And I said, I have to defend myself. I have to lay it out there because you haven't addressed anything. You haven't said anything, and they're acting like they don't know exactly what they did when they do know, because they are very calculated, and I know that. I know that for a fact. And I've seen it all play out here. He's very calculated. Every single time they try to ask Brian for something or play it, I pinch him. I was like, you better not offer him to buy anything. And it's like, he knows, but he won't admit it. And fine, my brother's a shitty person too, and Brian's dealt with it. But you know what? He's not here anymore. My brother's not here. My sister, my family's not here. I've actually gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this for our family, just us. And I said, you know what? No, I'm not wrong. You know, I have to say these things. They have to face the fact that this is bullshit, you know? And then he said, you're wrong. I know you think you're not wrong, but you are wrong. And you're a mean person. And it really took a lot for me to come in here to talk to you. But I want to work it out for our kids. And I just blew up and I said, what the fuck? Like, you only want to work it out for our kids? Like, is that the only reason? What about us? What about our marriage? Like, you don't want to work it out with me because of me? And I said, you know, I don't fucking care. Like, if you want to work out with me, no. For the kids, no, I can co-parent, you know? You don't come to me and then tell me all the things that and the thing that bothers me the most is he invalidates my feelings all the time. He thinks that I'm just too emotional, or I make things bigger than it is, or it's just too... Like, my feelings don't matter at all. Like, my life doesn't matter at all. And so I said, you know, I'm fine co-parenting. If you love your brother so much, get the fuck out. Move in with them. And I'll be fine with my kids. I used to tell him, you know, we don't need millions of dollars. I could sing one show and that'll handle me for a whole month. I'm fine. What? And he's like, oh, you know, I'm working for our family. I was like, it doesn't seem like it. I even told him, if I won $1 million or a couple million to the lottery, would you give up your company? And he said no. And I was like, so what's the point of working for our family? I think it's more than that. It's more like he has certain goals in life that he wants to achieve. He's obviously achieved the goal of family, and now he wants career. He's like, all right, check, check, check. Whatever I don't need, disregard. Just trash. And now it's honestly about his accomplishment as a human being, which is fine. A lot of people want to do something before they die. They want to achieve something. They want to contribute to this society. But at the same time, you can't tell me that family's first, family's important, and your favorite movie is Family Guy, for God's sakes, and you continue to do the complete opposite, which is like, forget my family, There's no point doing the RV anymore. Why are we doing the RV if we're not going to spend time as a family? Why? And the hardest part of this is that whenever we fight, he always tries to take the kids away from me. And he uses them as a pawn. And I'm like, I don't do that to you. Like, I can share the kids, it's fine. But he acts like he'll take care of them. And when they cry, I go over there to feed them, he takes them from my hand. He like rips them from my hand and he pretends like he cares. Like, this whole time you never fed them. I mean, he's fed them a couple times, but not like how I do. But you don't feed them, you don't change their diapers like I do. He's never once took a shower with the twins. And so you never took a shower with the twins once. I mean, you took a shower with Scoop with the first baby. He was more hands-on because, like, once again, when you got what you want the first time, you disregard everything after that. And, and it's really hard for me because the kids are my life now. They really are. And he knows that. He does that to spite me. I don't know why. It's like, you're telling me that I'm being mean. This is how you treat your own wife. Over your brother, who's been a complete ass. There's so many, a million reasons. And I've explained them to you, the reasons. I was literally 8 months pregnant. Him and his wife all the time constantly wait on us for lunch. They ask me to go get them stuff, groceries, shampoo, whatever. It's like, don't you guys have your own shit to do? We gave you a goddamn car, go get it yourself. Like, what is wrong with them? Anyway, this is me venting. This is my reality. It's starting to sink in, and I'm thinking to myself, where do I go from here? Do I work it out with him and tell him, like, a lot of the time when we fight about the same thing, I always brush off the emotion, we never settle it, and I'm the one that always lets it go, and I let him get away with it. Do I address it and make sure that, hey, you need to tell your brother, cut that shit out? It's supposed to be us as a team. But now he's like, seriously, my brother's been so helpful. And his wife has been so helpful because sometimes when I'm at a show, she just literally sits there and watches. She doesn't do anything. She just sits there. Just because she's there to watch him doesn't mean she's helpful. She's almost like one of those wives where you go to Vietnam, you buy, you bring home, and then they do everything for you. He loves that. He loves it when they do things and serve him and then get his business going. Like, I would be the problem. He says I'm the problem of this whole situation because I'm the one stirring up shit, asking questions, and making it difficult for all of them to work. And I'm like, if I'm the problem, then leave. Why can't you leave if I'm the problem? And that's another issue. Like, I'm the problem, but I tell you my issues and you invalidate everything I say, and then you say I'm the problem. So it's just been really, really hard because it's my life that I literally gave up to support him, to let him do whatever he wants. He says I never support him. But is there anything that he hasn't done that he wanted to? He's done everything that he's wanted to. Every single thing that he's wanted to. And so It's a complete sham and shame. But 20 years in, and it's like he doesn't give a shit. He just continues to work and work and work. And pretends to take care of my babies. When he doesn't only just show me, oh, look, I'm doing something too. I'm taking care of them too, so don't act like I don't. But it's in reality, you don't. He does maybe a good 30% of the twins. And I get that he's busy. And honestly, it's his business that's just taking too much of his time that he cannot give time. Anyways, that is the situation. I don't know if I'm too emotional or I'm crazy or whatever. Like, am I wrong? Am I completely wrong in this whole thing? And he always said, when in doubt, go with your gut feeling. And this is my gut feeling. This is how I feel. I don't like being toyed with. I don't like being taken advantage of. I don't like it when people constantly are manipulative. He calls Brian. He says, oh, I don't know what's wrong. I didn't know. I just text you everything why I'm upset. Why are you asking? He went around my back instead of facing me head on when I text him. This is my issue with you. And he went to snitch on me. BK always says snitches get stitches. Guess what? His brother doesn't. Nothing. Instead, he goes off on me, saying I'm the mean person for texting them the reality that they have been given a free pass to life, and continually ask and take, never have any responsibility. Anyways, I'm gonna take a breather. The only good thing that came out of this whole thing was I was able to lose at least 12 pounds in a week. I haven't eaten anything. I barely slept. Like I can't even breathe. It's like a midlife crisis or something. It's just so weird. And he just sits there. Does absolutely nothing to take away my pain. That's the truth. That's it. This is him right now. I'm like constantly stalking them, you see? Taking my babies. So I was able to snatch one of them. Dad's like freaking cat, like watching him like vultures. I can't. He didn't even change his diaper, like seriously. It's like annoying to the fullest. Anyways, I mean, Brian's not a bad guy. He's just too nice for his own good, and people take advantage of him. Sometimes he thinks the people who are closest to him he could lash out on, and the people outside his family he just doesn't have the time to explain or care enough to. That's his reasoning with his brothers. Like, I don't care enough to tell them. I was like, but when you don't tell them, continue to do it. You know? A million reasons. He's like, well, why do you... There's a million reasons. Another one. One time, My friend Lisa offered, actually we asked her if we can borrow her car because he's coming and he's got to get his license, and he can't use the Tesla because he doesn't have his license, or to test, or something about insurance, so you can't use the Tesla. So we asked her to use her car. So it took a long time, maybe over a month, for him to get his license. And so, you know, my friend Lisa was going through like you know, house renovation. I thought it would be nice for us to all go down there and help her with her cabinets, you know, just to be a good friend. And I dragged him and his wife along. His brother gets there, doesn't do a damn thing, eats, falls asleep, and then we're all doing the cabinets. And then he's like, oh, I have a headache. And then after he eats and sleeps, he falls asleep, wakes up, eats again. Like, this is someone that helps you, gives you a car for free to use to help you kickstart your life in America, and you can't even give your time to help her put some cabinets together. Like, and he's always like this. When you give something, I always learn that you shouldn't expect to have anything in return. So he goes by that. He goes by, when you give, don't expect to receive. I don't expect to receive. Honestly, I don't. But when you do shit like that, come on, give me a break. Don't even come. Why come? He came for the food. Brian's like, oh, he doesn't have much. He doesn't have much. Look at him. What do you mean he doesn't have much? He's fine in life. People who don't have much are not in the shape you are not indulgent like you are. He eats a lot. He ate out my whole refrigerator when they left. He ate Scooper's food, okay? He's doing fine. Just fine. So I captured him. And we're gonna spend some time together. He's so chubby. Cưng quá. Thương con quá. Boogers. Boogers. Ew. Talkative little fella. My goodness. What is it? I know. And then? Hi. Hi. Thương quá. Oh no, this is the talkative one. Rain has been talking up a storm. Rồi sao con? Rồi sao con? I know. Got some food ready for my baby Scooper. Chicken and rice. Got lemonade and water, sparkling water, and what do you call it? Pomegranate juice. This thing is all lemon, squeezed and frozen. I got some time with the kids because Brian went to go pick up Scooper, so I snatched him. Okay, you're hungry. Alright, so it's the end of the night. I made it through the day, and today has been a whirlwind of like emotions just everywhere in every single direction. And I just kept thinking to myself how life just passed by so quickly. It just flashed by like in a blink of an eye. 20 years of being with my husband. We were young, in love, and come to think of it, you know, nothing mattered except for us to be together. And I remember my very first paycheck when I started singing from Asia and shows and stuff like that. I literally, like, you know, it wasn't much, but everything that I made went straight to his family in Indonesia to support them. It just feels like, in a sense, they were deported, and Brian was the only one left behind, and so maybe there's a sense where he feels like guilty that they didn't get the life that he got. I don't know, and he's trying to make up for lost times. Who knows? But I think 20 years is a long time. A long time to be still in the same state. I feel like people around the whole entire world, whether it's Indonesia, China, Vietnam, it's not like that place is like a detriment. Like it's not like a bad location. People are successful everywhere. It depends on the work and the effort you put into it, and I'm not sure if that was something they've looked into. I don't know. But I know for sure, for 20 years of my life, I've devoted, I've supported, and I've given my best and my all into this, into our lives together. And we are in the midst of going different directions. So I think we need some time. We'll see. Alright guys, so good night.